And today what I want to show you is our Live Create feature. Basically, what this allows you to do is create content across the PS3, Xbox 360, as well as PC simultaneously. So, the first thing I'm going to do is start up my Xbox and the PS3. And as you see, we'll load into the same level as the editor is sitting in right now. So, one of the newest features with the sandbox is our now console options. Basically, all you have to do is click a checkbox to whether you're working onto the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, and it's simply just an enable checkbox. Once I've checked these off, you can see that I can actually synchronize the camera across the Xbox as well as the PlayStation 3. So everything I'm doing in the editor here is going all the way across to both the consoles. So we haven't just made improvements to the sandbox interface, we've also made major improvements on the rendering engine. What I want to show you real quick is our deferred lighting system. So, obviously lights are the keys to making things look nice. As we create more lights in a scene, more lights are interacting with the objects in the scene, and obviously the textures are going to pop a lot more, normal maps, specular maps, anything like this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just grabbing a light, and I'm going to move it around in the hallway, and as you can see, that's updating on the PS3 as well as the Xbox. So we'll make some more major modifications to this deferred light here. So I'm upping the radius to 5, change the diffuse multiplier, and bring up the specular. Now it's a little blue and washed out, I'm just going to change it to maybe a green color, something like this, and you see how easy it is to actually manipulate this and change everything that you want directly on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So if you're a developer making a multi-platform game, this is an essential tool to be able to compare what your game is looking like on consoles. There's a couple more nice features with the deferred lighting. We can do a lot of different lighting types. So this one, for example, is going to be a projection type light. So as you can see, I'm projecting a texture across, but it's simulated like lights. So, and again, updating on the PS3 and Xbox 360. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this light, and I'll move us outdoors. So as I come outside, you can see this is very much a crisis type scene that we had done. Now, the difference here is that you're going to see it on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Now, there are some really nice tools that we're taking over from Sandbox to be able to develop onto the consoles. And one of the biggest tools was the time of day tool. Our designers don't want to be bothered with a lot of graphs, a lot of problems, so we just gave them a simple slider. So as you can see, as I change the time of day, that's updating on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 and the PC all at the same time. So I'm just going to change it to more of a night scene, and you can see, again, comparing this makes it very nice. So I'll bring back the time here, and I'll show you how we do our terrain modification and a bit of terrain painting in the sandbox. So I'm just moving my camera into position here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab our modify brush, and what this allows us to do is just do simple height map painting. So I'll change my sliders here. Smooth it down a little bit. We'll do something real fast, just maybe a little island or something coming out here. Smooth this right down. So now as you can see, that's updating on the consoles as well while I'm painting on the PC. Sample a bit of a lower height. Maybe give some shape to this. Alright, great, I'm pretty happy with that. So what we're going to go ahead now and do is do a bit of layer painting, because obviously that doesn't look very realistic yet. We're going to throw some textures on it. So the first thing I'm going to grab is actually our terrain texture layer browser. This is a new feature that wasn't existing in CryEngine 2. And this is a nice way to interface with all our textures. So these are all the textures that are going to go onto the terrain, and you can actually see all the restrictions that we place on them. For example, they might have a minimum height, a maximum angle, minimum angle, anything to that effect. So I'll go ahead and close that. Open up database view. So I just jump into the layer.